And it's 8 p.m. Welcome to the City Newsroom. My name is Vivian Lokko. Tonight I'm here with
Umaru, Sanda, Amadu.
Coming up, Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service released MP of Asutifi South Dauda after detaining, questioning and raiding his home.
National Disaster Management Organization takes blame for the donation of expired goods by the Vice President, Dr. Amadu, to victims of recent floods up north.
And later on the City Newsroom, we'll take you to Osu Anehor, where residents are at loggerheads with authorities over a looming health disaster there.
Let's settle for details of our stories now. And the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has taken blame for the expired cooking oil which was donated by the Vice President, Dr. Amadu, to flood victims of the northern part of the country.
Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia last Saturday led a government delegation to donate relief items to distressed communities that were hard hit by a week-long downpour in the 3 regions of the north. The Vice President also used the occasion to commiserate with families that lost their relatives during the disaster. But barely 3 days after the gesture, it has emerged that some of the food items supplied by the Vice President have expired, resulting in some beneficiaries becoming ill after consuming the affected consignments. The opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, first brought the issue to public attention at a press conference held in Wad.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a shock of our lives when some of our kinsmen who had received disaster relief items realized that the items that were given to them were expired and from all looks are unwholesome for human consumption. Maggot-infested rice, oil that is looking like milk, and unfortunately, I shudder to wonder how the office of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana could distribute items that do not have the certification of the Foods and Drugs Authority.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Asutifi South constituency, Alhaji Dauda, has been granted self-recognizance bail after several hours of interrogation at the Criminal Investigations Department headquarters in Accra.
Some party executives, MPs and sympathizers of the NDC were left confused at the CID headquarters earlier today, following the arrest of the Member of Parliament for Asutifi South constituency, Alhaji Dauda. Some of them who spoke to City News said they were at a loss as to why the MP was being interrogated.
These things don't augur well for all of us. It doesn't augur well for our democracy. This is a very senior member of parliament, a former minister. I mean, things that you can use phone to just call him and he'll come. Just how we've gone. I mean, we are law-abiding citizens. And we'll always be called, when you call us using the right procedure, we'll always be there.
Commuters on the Tumu-Bolgatanga road are asking for urgent attention to be given to fixing the road as heavy downpours leave parts of the 141-kilometer stretch inaccessible. The road is a major highway that connects the Upper West to the Upper East region. City News' Fentio Tahiru traveled from Tumu to Bolgatanga and has this report.
From Tumu, the capital of the Sisala East District, to Bolgatanga, capital of the Upper East region, is a 141-kilometer road that should take maximum 2 hours to travel. But bad roads mean travel time can last between 3 hours and 6 hours if you're not lucky. And during the rainy season, you can run out of luck very quickly. After leaving Tumu around 6 a.m., 30 minutes into the journey, we came to a stop at Navaruye, the road cut off by water overflowing the bridge. Only motorbike riders could afford to cross the bridge, but at a fee charged by these boys who were on hand to help. After 2 hours of waiting, our minibus managed to cross the bridge after the water has subsided, but only to run into this. 3 vehicles stuck in the mud in the middle of the road. The driver of our minibus tried to use a diversion and got stuck. So this is the major highway, the major road connecting Bolgatanga, the capital of the Upper East region, and Tumu, the district capital of the Sisala East District Assembly. It's in a very bad state. Students are stuck here. And as you can see, people are struggling since last night to try to get these buses that have been stuck here a long time out of this particular place.
Now, contrary to reports that tanker drivers had called off their sit-down strike, the drivers numbering about 500 tell City News the action is still on.
The drivers earlier today gathered at the office of their mother association of the Tanker Drivers Association in Tema, waiting for a positive response from the National Petroleum Authority. To them, they are unperturbed with what they call false information that the strike had been called off and that they would only budge if the NPA writes a favorable letter addressing their challenges. The drivers are calling on the NPA and their truck owners to implement a memorandum of understanding that seek to address their welfare and also address issues of underground shortage at Bost, which impede their work.
There is an impending health disaster at the Osu Anehor, close to the former seat of government, if authorities do not act in time to address the sanitation challenges. A major drain that is supposed to channel liquid waste into the sea has now become a storage for plastic waste and human excreta that finally ends up in the sea.
In an attempt to solve the sanitation issues in Osu Anehor, a bigger one which threatens the health of residents in the area has rather been created. The assemblyman for Osu Alata, Hubert Bapogashan, created a mesh to prevent the plastic waste from being washed into the sea. The drainage, supposed to channel liquid waste into the sea, has rather turned into a huge reservoir of germs and plastic waste. The stagnant nature of the plastic waste has now become a breeding ground for mosquitoes. But a more worrying situation here is the fact that one of the public toilets releases fecal matter on a daily basis through this pipe, which eventually ends up in the sea.